Hi, I'm John Hamm, and this is Ruby. Ruby was just adopted from a shelter in Los Angeles, and there are so many pets just like her at shelters throughout the country that are waiting for a home of their own and for people to love them. Shelter Me brings to life stories that remind us that we have the power to make a difference by getting involved with our shelters and helping get more pets adopted. In this episode, Shelter Me features the incredible work that legendary singer-songwriter Emmylou Harris is doing in her community to help at-risk youth and homeless pets.
We're going to bring the shelter to the people.
Yes, I love you too.
You will also see a moving segment about fostering pets and an innovative program where police departments recruit shelter dogs for their prestigious canine units.
Once we just realized how good these dogs were at doing their job, it's the first place that I go now when I'm looking for dogs.
Come up. Ruby is a loving and gentle dog, and there are many reasons why these pets end up at shelters. But now they need a new home and a family to call their own. You can be the one to change their future. There is no greater joy than giving a pet a brand new start. They will be forever grateful and your partner in life.
Shelter me. Give me that 1 second chance I need. Oh, shelter me. You will have all my love and loyalty.
So today we're invited to Sutton High School to teach a criminal justice and forensics class.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, the sheriff is here. And as we've been talking about the use of dogs in policing, they're going to come and demonstrate a very special dog that they have acquired from a local shelter. This dog was rescued and is now helping the Sheriff's Department maintain drug security at the House of Correction in West Boylston. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sheriff Evangelitis. He is the Sheriff of Worcester County. And this is Sergeant Shabbat and his very special partner, Nikita.
Thank you. It's honored to be here with you guys as the criminal justice class here at Sutton High. Like, they expect that we're going to bring in a big German Shepherd, and they see Nikita, they almost laugh until they see him in action.
So here he is. This is Nick. He's a rescue from Puerto Rico that was brought to Sterling Shelter. They have a program where they rescue dogs. They were kind enough to donate him to us.
We looked into it, and we determined that there were shelter dogs that could be trained, that they could actually do the job as well or better than your traditional shepherd canine.
So he sees this collar. Now he knows this is his cue to start working. We're able to put some pseudo narcotics in one of these backpacks here. So let's see if Nicky's on his game today. And good boy.
How will you know when he finds something?
His cue is he'll sit down and then he'll touch his nose to the odor. And there he goes.
Whether it be backpacks or lockers or whatever, that we suspect there are drugs, and then he goes to work. And unlike us, who can smell just limited things, he smells everything. But he's trained to focus in like a laser on those particular scents that involve drugs. When he puts his nose in that spot, that's where the sergeant follows up to believe that's where the narcotics are.
Good boy. And then there you go. Now these are what we call, this is pseudo-heroin. They take one common chemical found in all the drugs, no matter where they're made, and they manufacture this so we can use this for training. Good boy. Good boy.
He doesn't look like a typical police dog, but if I had some drugs on me, I would not want to go up against him.
I didn't know shelter dogs could be so useful for like a canine unit.
He's a perfect example of what is at the shelter and what these dogs can do and how they can help the community. He was down on his luck once, and here he is. He has a job. He has a very important job.
Right now, we're on our way to the sheriff's office, the jail and house of correction. They have reports that there could possibly be some narcotics hidden in one of the work release cells. So we're going to go bring Nikita in and do a quick search of the cells, see if we can't come up with anything.
Well, simply because we run a correctional institution, and we should be very vigilant about stopping any attempt to bring drugs into the institution. Anyone who knows corrections knows that that's an ongoing battle, always, 24/7.
All right, so I want to restrain these two individuals so we can search this room as well. These guys both work at the same facility as the two we lugged earlier this morning for the dirty urines. We have no reason to believe these guys have anything, but just want to make sure we cover all areas. This is a minimum security building where the inmates are getting ready to transition back into the community.
Oh, boy.
Well, as thorough as we are with our eyes and our sight and our hands, we can't smell things. Obviously, the dog is that sixth sense. It's trained to find specific things.
Check it in.
We're much more successful at finding things like weapons, other contraband. But when it comes to the drugs, the dog seems much more effective.
So, and a negative in both of these rooms.